This next pop-up we're looking at is the flower one. Very, very simple mechanism, but very, very spectacular. So what I've done, as usual, cover on the front, the inside here, no markings, just a cover there. And then we've got this mechanism, which I've cut out and just fold along all the green lines, backwards and forwards. So it's all effectively nice and floppy. And what we're going to do is glue these two triangles here. So what I want you to do is fold it in half, and we're going to do the first one here. So it's going to look roughly like this. Doesn't really matter. This works both ways, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment, because what it does do is it spins around by 90 degrees. It's a lift mechanism. It's one of my favourite mechanisms. It's just an adaptation of it. Now what we need to do is get this about halfway in the card here, and there's no right or wrong. About halfway, I've glued that part there, and I'm sticking it down. Now this big bit's flopping away there and giving me a little bit of grief, but I've got to make sure that's exactly in the crease line. So you can see this is only the trickiest part of it all. There we go. And once that's folded there, do you know what I do? Simply glue this like so. There is another way where you can fold this up and have it as a triangle. You could experiment and see, but this way at least you get to see how the mechanism works. And that goes down. Remember, it's just those triangles in there, pink side down, and it's going to look something like this. Now those two bits there are the bits that are glued, and what's going to happen, so we open the card, you'll see that folding round like so. So at that point, just give a bit of squeeze and rub that in, and that's the mechanism moving. There we go. So the next part will be to join these two bits up. So we've got a tab there, and that's going to come over and sit on there like so. Again, a little bit of glue just on the tab. Oops, my glue pen wants to give up on me. No, there it goes. That lies down. We're doing that all flat now, and it'll just spring up a little bit, and then squeeze the mechanism, and you'll see how that turns around. And that's the basis of what we're doing. Then we get two sides here sticking up at 90 degrees, and you've got a choice. One's slightly steeper than the other, so you could have turned this round the other way. It really is up to you how you want to do it. And what we're going to end up with is our flowers just rising up and spinning round to greet us. So in this instance, because I've got the cover there, I'm going to go with this particular face on that side there. So I'll just actually flatten it. In reality, we want that sticking up. You'll notice the crease in the card, because it never lies perfectly flat, always gives us that amount of lift there. This is one of those instances when it works for us. So what I'm going to do now is just spin that around, close the card up. Those are my flowers here. Now you can put anything on this mechanism that you want, and I'm just going to close this up just to make sure that it fits within the card there. Just put it lightly, just so I've got to make sure it's spinning, and it is. It's catching a little bit there, so what I'd like to do is just lift it as a fraction and spin it round so that it can turn but not stick out from there. So this is, you can see a little bit hit and miss, a little bit more there, nearly there, nearly there. Just put that there. Give that a little bit of a twist, and as we open and close, our flowers now will spin round at 90 degrees. So what we're trying to do is get it to the stage where it can open and close without catching, like so. We get this lovely spectacular card. I'll just tilt that up. You can see these flowers come out at 90 degrees to greet us, and then spin back in again, and there we go. So once we've positioned that flower and we're happy that it's going in and out smoothly, remember you can put any other objects on there that you like. This is quite a big flower. We can just add some little ancillaries to the card. I've put some foam pads. I've used the gerberas here and just put a couple of gerberas in on the foam pads. Make sure that's not interfering with the mechanism. That one's just catching that one a little bit, so that might be a case in point. Keep that out of the way, perhaps we've got our greetings message there, so let's pop that one up there, and we could have a smaller one just flat over here. This is what sweeps round, so we try and keep that area clear if we can, and we can see now that's still closing for us beautifully, and we get this wonderful spectacular bouquet of gerberas coming up to greet us at 90 degrees. Let me show you the mechanism of the tilt there. Out it comes. So a really nice card to make, very simple to put together. The only thing to watch out for is the positioning of this, a little bit of trial and error, as you can see, just to allow for the sweep of the flowers. To be honest, if they are catching a little bit, look, this is working fine, but don't be afraid to use your scissors, just cut a little bit out, it won't really notice, and that might just make all the difference. But I think you should be fine with this one. Anyway, enjoy this, and I hope the person receives it enjoys it as well. It's a lovely card, quick and simple to make, and that mechanism's an absolute beauty, and you can use it for other things as well.